There we go. Good evening,
Knock,
my darling
knock.
batlings.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
We're no.
We're no strangers to love.
You know the rules, and so,
do I. You're welcome for that one, by the way, JKR.
Yes. I just can't get over the fact it's like, out of nowhere, you messaged me late at night. I'm like, what the hell?
I had a back and forth. I had a back and forth of playing like Discord tag with Timo over the past day with that, where like I messaged her last night, but she had already gone to bed and just left her PC on, so she didn't see it until the morning. But then I got up late where she had already gone to work, so I missed her when I responded. And then she finally got back to me when she got home from work, and we did the proper knock knock, and it was all like a day-long build-up just for a We're No Strangers to Love punchline. And you know what? I'm proud of it. I'm proud of not giving up on it.
A full commitment is what I'm thinking of.
I mean, hey, you wouldn't get this from any other guy. So I'm joined tonight by JKR and Chuck, who is going to be periodically unmuting and then remuting himself because he is out and about at the moment, but still wants to join in on the fun.
Yo! I'm outside
And,
because it just closed down, and they said that we can dry and then come in like 40 minutes, so yeah.
Okay.
By the way, I am currently cleaning all my clothes at a laundromat because our washer and dryer combination just exploded on us, so that's a thing.
I don't know why, but I feel like this somehow involves... I somehow feel that this is JKR's fault.
Do it, dude!
You know what's funny? You know what's funny is that I actually met him on the day it happened.
Wait,
I mean,
what?
he is the literal bomb sitting right here.
I am the bomb, so...
I mean, it could be worse. You could be Bat Mantis. Yeah, the Space Ghost brain rot continues to infect us.
Or Batman from the Tick.
I have actually never seen the Tick.
I've seen little bits and pieces of it. I've never actually watched like the full thing, but like there are parts of it that are just friggin' hilarious.
The only thing I know about the Tick, the only thing I know about the Tick is Spoon.
Yeah. I know that Townsend Coleman is actually, who is the voice of Sentinel Prime in animated, is also the voice of the Tick.
I kind of find it hilarious that Sentinel Prime literally just looks like a Cybertronian version of the Tick.
That was apparently intentional.
I'm so glad that they did that because like I didn't know who the Tick was for the longest time, and then when I finally found out, I'm like, why does this guy's voice sound so familiar? And then I looked at Transformers Animated, like, oh shit, it's the same guy.
So, as the stream title says, tonight we're going to be returning to Dragon Ball Z Kakarot after I have not played it for a while. I keep on blue-balling you guys with ending off, like, right as we're about to fight Frieza, and then, like, having to do something else. So tonight we're actually gonna fight Frieza.
A long training arc later.
Yes, it's been a long training arc of me training in everything except Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
Go on, get him! In a year.
All right,
Oh,
so... Also, if you're wondering why I have Fortnite on my dashboard, don't blame me. Blame Epic for having a Metallica event going on right now.
Oh, do you play Fortnite?
So,
I have not played it yet, but between that and the Fortnite Festival mode they added, that's basically just Rock Band 5. It's given me reasons to try it out.
Honestly, dude, I was not into Fortnite until like my buddy, who's like a big brother to me, started playing with my sister. I'm like, fine, I'll try it out. It's actually fun.
Apparently, as part of the Metallica event, they have a raid boss that's literally the Master of Puppets.
Oh no. Master of Puppets is calling you straight.
And it plays Master of Puppets while you're fighting it.
Like, just over and over again?
Yes.
Like, on loop?
For however long it takes to beat the boss.
I mean, I like that song, but that would probably get your attention really quick.
Well, Master of Puppets is like, what, 6-7 minutes long? And you could probably, from what I've seen in the clip I saw of it from Asai, you can probably finish that fight before the song's over.
He's playing it right now.
Oh, good game, man.
That's my brother, by the way. Sorry.
Thank you. Yeah, we're just, right now, I cannot skip through, I can't skip through the intro because it's like the national anthem of anime. It would be wrong to skip it.
Dude, I was like gonna join the call, and then I had this whole line set up to start. It's kind of like a riff on Duke Nukem. Like, I'm here to kill fools and bitches, and I'm all out of those. It's like confusing to where like you don't know which one he's out of. And then it's like, which one? Yes.
Yeah, the yes gag with King Vegeta is one of my favorite things that they kept up.
That's what the joke was gonna be. It was like a carrying on of the torch of that joke.
My son, the planet, or me? Yes!
Yes. Freaking smart ass. I love that.
Alright, so last time on Dragon Ball Z, I can't remember what happened because that was like last year, I think. But Piccolo has to rush to help Gohan and company. But first, let's check his skills. Make sure I've got everything I need. Because this is about to enter like a very long sequence of boss fights. Okay, so he can... a lot of the
skill tree undone.
Well, yeah, because this is early in the game before you're... this is early in the game before you get the chance to unlock a lot of his better moves.
Okay. I was gonna say that you've got a lot of it unlocked, but no, I see that you don't actually.
Yeah, there's like a ton of stuff. Like, I try to like get everyone's like at least their training unlocked moves out of the way first, as soon as I get a chance to. Because like the way
looks like someone wants to die.
It's sort of like it's like God, what recursive? There we go. It's like you need to unlock skills to unlock other skills.
Yeah, my brother plays this game a lot, and I watch him play it. It looks like a lot of fun. I just don't want to pay the $60 for it.
It's definitely worth it if you can get it on sale. I would, especially if you can get the bundle that includes at least season 1 of the DLC with it. Because there's 2 seasons of DLC, and they're basically their own like mini campaigns.
Yeah, like I've seen him play it, and it looks like a lot of fun. Like a lot of fun. It looks.
I agree that I wouldn't pay full price for this, mostly because this is an almost 5-year-old game, and they're still charging full price for it.
Yeah, didn't it come out in 2019 or something like
Came out like 2019, 2020, something like that.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, I remember seeing it, because I was like heavily following Jump Force at the time, and
Ready whenever you are.
I was like following all the Bandai events and stuff like that, and I saw this game, I was like, oh, my brother's gonna really like this game.
Guys, we found him, the only person who ever cared about Jump Force.
To be honest, I understand it's a crappy game when it first launched. It was really bad, but they fixed a lot of it the further it went on. But by that point, so many people had dropped it because of how bad it was the first 6 months. So, like, it basically died a very, very slow death.
Yeah, and it wasn't on the market for very long either because it was a rights nightmare to even get it released stateside.
I know, dude.
Because all of those are owned by Shueisha because they're published in Shonen Jump. But internationally, the distribution rights for those in video game form are owned by like
it's
5 different companies.
Over the place. Yeah, I know. It's like I'm not surprised that they didn't get an English dub for it because like it obviously wasn't going to happen because of that. That was definitely one of the huge problems with
also,
it.
this was very clearly a low... Jump Force was very clearly a low-budget project, so I'm not surprised that they didn't spring for an English dub.
Looks like someone wants to...
But I still would have liked it, but I understand why it didn't happen. I love a lot of the really fun things you can do with a custom character in that game. Like, you can give it some really badass moves. Like, one of my favorites is JoJo move, of all things.
Well, if it's a JoJo move, then of course it's going to be badass.
Yeah. It's like one of the only JoJo moves that you can get for your custom character, and
you could never beat
it's a move from Giorno Joestar, and Giorno Giovanna. Sorry, I keep forgetting that he's a Joestar, but not technically a Joestar. But yeah, it's like it's the ability to like give yourself more health.
Looks like
it's totally broken.
I mean, my defense about like accidentally referring to a JoJo specifically as a Joestar when they don't have the Joestar last name. I always forget, as someone who hasn't gotten very far in JoJo yet, that Jotaro and Jolene, even though they're related, their last names are spelled differently.
Kujo, yeah.
They're both Kujo, but they're spelled differently.
Yeah, isn't Jolene's like spelled with a C instead of a...
It's spelled with a C and an H at the end.
Yeah, it is really weird. Like, I don't know why maybe she did it because she was trying to spite her dad or something. I don't know. And one of the things about it, I haven't gotten that far into JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I actually stopped at
Looks like someone wants
Golden
to die.
Wings.
I'll make quick work of you.
I've made it through Phantom Blood. I haven't started Battle Tendency yet.
Battle Tendency is actually very enjoyable. I love Ghost. He's so funny.
Like, I had a lot of people like urging me, as if I'm not going to watch it from the beginning. They were telling me not to skip, saying like, okay, Phantom Blood may be boring, but don't skip it. I'm like, if this is the boring part of JoJo, then that speaks really well of JoJo.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna be completely honest. One of my favorite characters on Phantom Blood is Robert E.O. Speedwagon. I love
Speedwagon is just the best, bro. I love him.
He's a bro. He's a freaking bro. I love the guy.
Like, I've talked about wanting to cosplay Speedwagon when I go back to conventions, whenever that ends up being.
Dude,
Yeah.
like, one of the reasons I like him so much is because he's played by Kirk Thornton, and I really like Kirk Thornton's work. He's been one of my favorite.
Oh, Kirk Thornton's
English voice
like
actors
consistently great.
Yeah.
As someone
He
that
always
grew up on
plays, like,
Digimon, I'm very familiar with how good Kirk Thornton can be.
Yeah. Though my brother really dislikes his shadow voice.
His shadow
don't know
voice has
why.
been
I
really
like it.
contentious among Sonic fans, and in my opinion, I don't like the performances he's given, but that's mostly because he hasn't had good writing to work with. So I
That's
can't
true.
really blame him on that.
He's just edgy. That's
Like-
all that there is to his character.
Like I'm taking the Sonic Generations remaster that includes a new Shadow campaign. I'm taking that as like the first proper chance to judge him as Shadow.
Yeah, because did they get Ian Flynn to write this?
I don't know off the top of my head, but he has been promoted to like part of their team that like makes sure all the lore is consistent.
What's wrong, Vegeta?
Yeah, because
Are you
Ian
not going to
Flynn,
save him?
like, he was like, I think he was like the head of Frontiers. And
He was,
that game's writing is really good.
Yeah,
Like,
he was
I really like how they wrote the characters
Him?
in that.
the way like a lot of people either blame Flynn for Frontiers's
How is that
lesser parts or give him all the credit for everything. The way that worked out was the main story beats were done by the game's director, and he fleshed it out into a full script.
Yeah, you can tell, like, really, because there's not very much to the game, but what's there is really good. Like story beats, like just how they like kind of develop Amy and Sonic's relationship in the first island. It's really good.
Here, let me.
Like,
Yeah, especially after she's
this
been
is
derailed
not the
so
Amy that
hard.
we grew up with. This is not the Amy we grew up with. Like, this is a better Amy in every
He
way.
had that kind of ability.
I mean, it could have been the Amy I grew up with if, like, I've seen a lot of people say, like, oh, they basically just did her Sonic Adventure 1 plotline over again, where she resolves to become more independent. And I'm like, yeah, let's see if she actually follows through on it this time.
Had him heal Goku.
Well, let's just hope
really
that the Sonic
surprised me
team
there,
doesn't
didn't they?
shit
Thanks.
can
Good luck.
Ian Flynn in the next game. Because
Yeah.
I know that Frontiers didn't do too well.
No, it did better than they were expecting.
Increased rather significantly.
It did?
I suppose
Yeah,
it's because
critically
he
and
hasn't
sales-wise.
been seeing.
Every
It might
every
not be
review
much,
I've
but
seen
it
of
should
it
be
is like,
enough to tip the
oh,
scales
this
in our
game is
favor.
like really boring and too long and
Well, it depends.
Shit, like
It
that.
depends. Are you looking at like IGN style reviews, or are you looking at?
I saw their review for it too, but like I'm looking at like at just like people's like own views on
It's
it.
gotten mixed reception. That is very true, but it's
I
more
guess I've
positive
just been
than
looking at all the bad
anything
ones.
in recent years.
All right.
Like, it's still very mixed, and it's still like it's very mixed reception, but
Impossible.
generally more positive than any of the recent Sonic
I'm
games.
sure of it.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Something's coming.
most of the most recent Sonic games have just been total failures
Piccolo.
lately.
Sorry
So
to keep you waiting.
Yeah,
and I
and
did
Of all the
see
people
that
to show
it
up,
is
had
doing
to be the
better
freak we
than
killed back on
most other
Earth.
Sonic games, but like
The Dragon
I'm still
Balls
seeing a
were
lot of
used to bring
negativity
back this
towards
dead
it.
weight. What a
yeah, and a
waste.
lot of that is like
Sorry to
people
disappoint
being
you.
like overly critical, in my opinion.
I'm coming after you next.
Yeah.
Once I take care of Frieza, that is.
I don't
Which
know, maybe
people
I'm just-
tend to be with Sonic, especially. Like,
because they're so
like there are a lot of bad Sonic games. I will agree to that. That doesn't mean that the series is like consistently bad, or that
There
it's
is-
like held, or that it should be
Definitely
held
more
to
bad
a
than
different
good.
standard than any other thing out there. Like, here's my hot take. I think Sonic Adventure has aged better than Super Mario 64.
It has. The graphics have for sure. At least the DX.
The camera has.
Yeah.
because the camera actually fucking functions. And like people shit on I will die on this hill. People shit on any 3D Sonic game for being glitchy, for having like glitches that let you bypass parts of the game, and then they'll praise Super Mario 64 for being so glitchy that like glitch runs are how people prefer to play the game.
Dude, yeah. Like, you know, honestly, I have a hot take as well. I think that Super Mario 64 DS is the superior version of Super Mario 64.
I've never played it myself, so I can't speak on that. But like, I keep trying to get into Super Mario 64, and as someone that didn't grow up with Super Mario 64, because I didn't get an N64 until recently, I'm like, yeah, I can see how this was revolutionary for the time, but I don't think it deserves, like, to be praised as one of the best games ever.
Yeah. The best games of its time, maybe, but that's all.
It's like how Ocarina of Time has got, like, the highest Metacritic score of any game ever, but I'm like, it's not even the best 3D Zelda game.
Dude, I can't play it. Its camera is annoying as shit. Like, I can't play it.
Actually fighting on par with
Majora's Mask Solo's Ocarina of Time, which I find kind of funny because Majora's Mask, when you think about it, is basically just the first asset flip. Because it's literally made with the same assets as Ocarina of Time.
But I'm afraid you'll
and it still manages to feel wholly distinct from Ocarina of Time. Also, hi Psionic Hex, sorry for ignoring you in the chat. I promise I'm not doing it on purpose this time.
Did you think what I've showed you was the
God, I love that we finally gotten, like, this is,
clearly unaware that I've undergone a transformation. Prepare yourself.
God, why am I forgetting his name? The guy that voices Frieza now. This is the first time that he's... It's like Damon something.
Damon Mills. Damon Mills.
Damon Mills. This is the first time that I know of that he's gotten to voice Frieza's other forms besides First Form and Final Form.
Yeah.
And he does a fantastic job.
Oh, he does. Yeah. Because Chris Aries was the main voice actors for years.
Yeah, and Damon Mills was his understudy.
Yeah, he was until I think he passed away in 2019. I think
it was like 2018, 2019, but by that point, he had like mostly stepped down from voicing Frieza anyway.
Yeah, because he was so sick.
Yeah, he had COPD and had already had a complete lung replacement surgery.
You're wasting your time.
I knew that he was sick. I didn't know what with, because like all the places that I looked didn't list anything for it when it first happened. So,
yeah, it was COPD. The same thing that killed Leonard Nimoy.
I apologize for the wait.
I remember
round two.
I remember when TFS was doing their creator commentary, and they were talking about how about Chris Aries. They just started tearing up. It was
because he was like known to be like really nice and friendly towards his fans.
Yeah. Which is what you should be as a voice actor. But not everyone does it, and it's too bad.
Yeah.
That happens.
He's going to hit Piccolo's glue block eventually. I just realized that this whole fight I haven't been using special moves. You can tell it's been a while since I played this. Special beam cannon!
I love that. You could spin it, right?
Yeah.
And then it was a running theme throughout the whole thing.
And then Cell, of all people, says it right.
I know, I love it. It's so funny. It's really too bad that TFS isn't actually considered an official dub, because it really should be.
I mean, in some ways it should be, but they prefer for it not to be, because they have the stance of, like, we don't want to be compared to the official dubs, because we don't want people, like, seeing this as a replacement for the actual show. Which is a very humble, it's a very humble way to take it.
Yeah, no, it is very humble. I'm just saying, like, I can understand that from the viewpoint that season 1 is basically a meme. It does not take itself seriously at all.
Yeah, it's not until season 2. It's not until season 2 that they,
but still have humor in there.
And then season 3, they go, like, above and beyond for what was expected for a bridge series.
I know, dude. Like, it was like nothing. Like
not even just in terms of the stellar writing, but also in terms of, like, going back and fixing coloring and editing mistakes.
With that little Namekian
I know, Kaiser is a fantastic
whatever you
editor.
do almost immediately.
Yeah,
and I'm glad that he's so
believe me.
that he's so humble about it, because he's
Goku's
like I think that, like, some of the things that I could have done much better. Like, it's like that's like
snuff the life out of you in my
he's very humble about that.
I'm also glad that he's very open about sharing his tricks of the trade with people, because
Yeah, I'm glad he,
like, I learned a lot. Like, I'm still very much an amateur editor, especially when it comes to a bridge series. But I learned everything I know about editing a bridge series from Kaiser's old tutorials.
Yeah, I think he still does them, doesn't he?
I think he still does them, but I'm talking about, like, this old one from, like, when season 2 was just starting, where he showed, like, the basics of how to lip sync.
Go on. You have to get out of here.
Oh.
Right.
And like, I still remember the acronym he used to
What in the hell do you
as, like, an easy way to remember which mouth flaps should be, like, which vowel sounds should be done with closed mouth flaps at all times, no matter what the sentence is. And it's FPBVM, which stands for Freaking Pretty Boy Vic Mignogna.
Are you okay?
Oh man. Vic.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks a lot.
In a
That's
moment,
a whole-
I'll be back.
Yeah, that's a whole other can of
Why
worms.
did you attack
Yeah.
Vegeta?
Yeah.
Don't you remember?
Best not to
Saiyans
get into that
stronger
can of
every
worms
time
on
they
this,
Yeah, that's-
on this
to the
stream.
death.
Please heal me,
You
Dende.
asked me to attack him.
That whole bit where
Yeah, that's right.
Vegeta was trying to get
Don't go,
Dende to
Magic
heal him.
Man.
Look, I get it. I know you don't want to heal Vegeta.
Don't go,
but we're screwed
Magic
if we
Man.
can't fight.
I'm your white mage, and nobody fucks with the white
Fucks
mage.
with the
Heal
white
him.
mage.
I'm not strong enough to take
It
Frieza
just
on
dies
my own.
instantly afterwards. You know, the funny thing about this form is that whenever I go into
What's going
it,
on? Is that
somebody
Frieza?
dies.
I will say one of the things that Team 4 Stars kind of unintentionally ruined for me is, like, whenever I hear the official dub voice for Dende, I'm like, why doesn't he sound monotone? Why doesn't he sound like a near 30-year-old monotone person trying to sound like a child? My name is Dende.
My name is Dende.
Why does he sound cute and age appropriate?
No.
Frieza should
Same
be
way.
knowing
I
for
can't
me
look
now.
at Dende the same way anymore because
Fine.
of
And it's the same thing with Guru. It's like, why is Guru actually being like a wise, sagely elder and not like, you know, constantly shouting
Not
out,
like-
"No, no, no!"
I absolutely love
It's so
Guru.
small and
I am
Sup-
Guru.
But
You
it's
can call me Super Kuma.
Super Kami
True
Guru.
what they say. You can't judge a book by its cover.
Oh, so now he calls himself
He loves
God.
other forms
Okay,
better.
just prick.
Sorry I couldn't help you guys out.
Now, from now on, I shall be called Super Kami.
Yes, Super Kami.
Kami Guru.
Can I just call you Guru for short?
Super Kami Guru allows this. I love that voice. I can't do it justice like he does, but I try my best.
You know, I couldn't help but notice that little Namekian had the ability to heal you.
You know, at first I thought that was you,
I'm afraid
JKR.
I can't have any more.
He's stepped away from the mic for a bit.
Oh, he did? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, then,
Also, rest in peace, Little Green.
shall we?
Got murked by Freezer. You know, it's a shame that I got an A rank for my last one instead of the first one, because then my ranking would spell out ass.
Triple ass. Oh, like when Frieza was
made you
putting
a
his
promise,
name in there. It's like,
didn't I said you would experience a dread like
That was
you
a
never before.
that was a very common thing that people would do on like high score tables for arcade machines.
yeah,
I won't lose.
I did it, dude.
I've done it at almost any chance I get, and sometimes I just switch up the profanity with whatever I can fit into 3 letters.
Mm-hmm. Dude,
Like
we have a golf simulator arcade game at my work, and I did that because I got the high score on the game, and I put in ass. So now everyone sees it.
I'm back.
holy shit, he appeared from nowhere.
Did you not catch that? What's that, mites?
Mites.
Somehow-
No, I didn't catch that.
When the
Yeah, that was
first shows up,
we're here, mites.
Mites. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
sorry
don't
about
know
that.
who
Put it on my
decided-
Brindle.
I don't know who decided that Jace in the English dub of Dragon Ball Z by Funimation needed to sound like he was from Australia, but I want to praise them for that decision.
No. Spice Australia.
Spice Souls, that's Meow Planet. And then you listen to
Specifically Spice Brisbane. Go Spice Broncos.
then you go and listen to the original Ocean dub, and he doesn't sound like he's from Spice Australia. He sounds like he's from Spice Birmingham. Or Space Liverpool.
I had to work with my car's Prindle today.
Oh god, the Prindle. I hate that I know what you're talking about.
Oh, are you referencing Sweet Life of Zack and Cody?
Yes.
Yes.
That was my favorite episode. I'm not gonna lie. I loved that episode. Mr. Mosby is like my spirit animal. I love that guy.
Well, that reminds me of like this old thing that used to go around as a meme where it was like reporting that Brenda Song had been in a car crash and said Mr. Mosby's going to be pissed, and the image underneath is like a pissed off Mr. Mosby.
Clear as day.
I admire your confidence, Vegeta. But I'm afraid your mind is so overcome with fear that you've become delusional.
My eyes got intense when Kier's in chat and he clipped me going nail, and what's funny is that my eyes got intense when I was doing the nail. Frieza did it. Yeah, it's a shame that Cooler's not in this game so we can have even more fun with the memes.
You haven't.
I'm inside the laundromat right now. That's why I'm not talking, guys. Sorry.
Understandable.
When I'm done.
How about I say?
Because I have become the legend that you fear. I, Vegeta, am a Super Saiyan.
I believe that we've been here before. Have we been here before?
I love that, like, once you get to start playing as Vegeta, his, like, if you move into a key attack in the middle of a combo, it does his, like, rapid-fire Daka key blast spam. And it's like, yeah, that's something Vegeta always does in his fights that never works. Also, thanks for, what was that, a steak that you threw at me, or was it a waffle? I couldn't tell. I missed it. As we'll soon find out, he didn't go to hell. He went to the home for infinite losers.
I want to be a Super Saiyan.
That is literally how Vegeta became a Super Saiyan, just by getting angry and going, I want to be a Super Saiyan. I wanna. Also, thank you, Cloud, for dropping an anvil on me. Oh my God, you are crying.
Besides, my heart is pure. Pure, unadulterated, badass.
Are you finished?
Yeah.
I think I'll make
pure
the
and
next
adulterated
move.
ego. I heard that, Triclops. Is that okay?
For
As a
the
matter of
very
fact,
first time
yourself.
in his life, Vegeta had finally begun to experience
Shotgun and bonk to the head.
Shotgun and bonk at the same time. Damn, you guys are being brutal tonight. Oh my God, he is crying.
the mighty prince of the warrior race had lost his will to fight.
Hey, the randomized sounds are working this time. Sometimes it plays the regular bonk sound, and sometimes it plays Korone saying bonk.
If you wish to save him, feel free to try it any time.
Kidney punch, kidney punch, kidney punch, and pause, kidney punch. do 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 do. No, wait, that's not what he sings in this scene. Row, row, row your boat gently down.
No. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do.
Yes, I'm glad someone else knows that.
With power. It's actually kind of freaking me out.
Both me and Vegeta said flying at the same time. Perfect. Oh, hey, one of the rare times in this game named after Kakarot where we get to play as Kakarot. Seriously, it was weird to name this game Kakarot where, like, yeah, it is technically the story of Goku, but then you remember Goku's out of the story for most of Dragon Ball Z. Okay, no new moves I can learn here. Yeah, good. Palette of moves here. Goku is just there to steal the kills. Yes, he's a kill-stealing bastard. I fucked that up badly, but well. I'm getting back into the feel of live streaming after taking such a long break. What was it, like 3 days?
Well,
but it definitely helped. I feel re-energized.
Sorry I'm late.
Hey, are you that Freezer guy? I am Lord Frieza, yes. Awesome! I'ma deck you in the schnoz.
It looks like I still have some trash to dispose of.
I'm sorry, that's a new one.
Kakarot.
Kakarot. Oh, I see. So you're a Saiyan as well. I intend to rid the universe of every last one of you.
Super Saiyan.
He's not even Super Saiyan yet. He's just this strong.
Something different about Kakarot. Yes, he finally done it. Is he a Super Saiyan?
Like, JKR, I know you're not like an aficionado
actually
on
countered
Dragon
one
Ball
of my
Z lore.
attacks.
So
I'm
the reason
impressed.
why
No,
they
I'm
keep
not.
going like, is he a Super Saiyan or is Vegeta a Super Saiyan now, is because the Super Saiyan is just considered a legend at this
If I were
point.
you,
It was like something
Yeah.
that's allegedly supposed to happen once every 1,000 years that no living person in the galaxy has lived to see. So they don't even know what a Super Saiyan would look like.
warrior, the strongest
Yeah.
fighter in the universe.
He has become the legend.
Finish
The legend that you fear.
finally going to get what you.
I'm Goku, and I'm insane. From Earth, he means Saiyan.
Did I not make myself clear before? I've grown tired of your pathetic jokes.
Stop! Don't you see he can't fight back anymore?
Well, yeah, of course he can't fight back anymore. He's got a hole in his chest.
Kakarot, you're just as soft as always. Perhaps you're not a Super Saiyan after all. You idiot. Stop letting your emotions hold you back.
Why didn't you block that one? I thought you had it. No!
You can become a Super Saiyan. Kakarot, listen. Our home planet, Planet Vegeta, wasn't destroyed by a meteor. It was Frieza.
The two best villains are Frieza and Cell, hands down. Agreed. Majin Buu's a fun villain, but he doesn't have that, like, outward antagonism towards his opponents that Frieza and Cell have.
We're all murdered by that monster. I beg you.
And my opinion on Majin Buu is he gets less interesting the more powerful he gets.
Frieza! Please, I beg of you. He must die by Saiyan hands.
I want to get one of those scouters from Dragon Ball Z because I just feel like one of those could actually work well with my Robotnik cosplay.
Yeah, they're really easy to get a hold of now because they have official replicas that are pretty cheap.
For a proud guy like
I picked one up for I picked one up at con for like $20.
I hated
Oh,
you
nice.
at first, but I began to understand over time.
They just they have like a little, you wear them like headphones. They have like a bit
Just
that
know
goes over
this,
your head,
I'll do what I can
and
to
then
carry on
Yeah.
that
it
pride
like
of
sits
yours.
where the scouter would sit because unfortunately real life is not like Dragon Ball Z, and something that just like magically hooks itself on your ear like that and is able to support its own weight like that doesn't work.
You!
Nope.
Utter
I
nonsense.
also wanted to say, like, when Vegeta was dying,
Just
it's
in
like,
the way.
you are
We need to
the
get out
last
of here.
remaining Saiyan. Oh god, you're the
Oh
last
god, you're the
remaining
last
Saiyan.
remaining Saiyan.
Go on, come on, hurry!
Please don't die.
Something I've noticed about my Vegeta impression is like, even when I'm quoting Lonnie as Vegeta, I'm still like trying to do an impression of Chris Sabat. Except for whenever I'm quoting Ocean Vegeta, in which case I try to sound like Brian Drummond.
I love how Lonnie actually like gets like a perfect mix of both Sabat and Drummond.
What I really love about his Vegeta performance that not a lot of people seem to have noticed, and I don't think he's ever officially commented on, is anytime he has to play Kid Vegeta, he just straight up does a Brian Drummond impression.
Oh, you're right, he does. I didn't even realize that. He does. My whole
Entire family, my race. Just take me to the damn Queen, Nappa.
Yay! It's going to be the beginning of a beautiful thing.
I am hilarious, and you will quote everything I say.
Dude, you have like impersonation of.
I've been practicing for like a decade now, so I'd hope it's gotten good.
I've been practicing for a decade too. And oh, crap. I still think that my impersonation of Nappa is bad. My brother's impersonation of Nappa is like on par with yours, if not just a little bit better. It's that's like really close to that.
Nail. There is an albino Namekian standing right behind you. Kill it like the rest. Actually, sir, I'm from Earth. Kill it like the rest.
Yes, I believe that is. Oh, crap, I didn't end up seeing that. Ah, well. Maybe next time.
Psionic Hex says, I still think the best moment of Dragon Ball is Goku going Super Saiyan for the first time. My personal favorite, like, I say from, like, an iconic moments in anime standpoint, first Super Saiyan transformation, hands down, solos pretty much everything in anime history. But in terms of my favorites from a narrative standpoint, it would be the father-son Kamehameha.
Then even the Kaioken times 10 isn't gonna be enough. I should be able to hold my own if I push it to times 20, though.
Yeah.
My body might not be able to handle it, but I've got to try.
Kaioken! Kaio what?
You know, honestly, that joke never got
The basket's a little closer for me. That's great. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great night.
You too.
Like, say what you want about the Kaioken, Kaio what joke, at least they knew when to end it. Like, when it stops being a thing that ever works, is when they ended it. Which, you know, also fits in with, that's about the same time that Goku just stops using the Kaioken in Dragon Ball Z.
What's going on? It barely...
Your favorite moment is the cell reveal? Which cell reveal?
My dad's
I
Yes?
need to jump off the call for a little bit because I need to drive. I will be back in probably 10, 15 minutes.
Sure. Take your time.
Alright.
Drive safely.
Bye-bye. Alright, sounds cool. I will.
Oh yeah, the imperfect cell reveal that's like a scene from a slasher movie is great. That's why, like, Mr. Perfect Cell is like a really iconic villain, but Imperfect Cell is, I think, the more intimidating of Cell's forms because it's like a slasher movie villain in Dragon Ball Z. Or, as they characterized him in Dragon Ball Z Abridged, it's like Freddy Krueger mixed with Bugs Bunny. Now, if only we could get, like, one more scene with Imperfect Cell somehow, where we get Taka to say, as Imperfect Cell, ain't I a stinker? I have been off my game with my Imperfect Cell impression because it's starting to mutate into Zorak.
The spirit bomb!
Yes. Now that I think about it, yeah, it is.
Things living on Namek. And all planets that can hear me. Lend me as much energy as you can. Give me
Like, Zorak is more like here at the front with the lower tones, whereas Imperfect Cell is more here at the back of the throat with a lot of the phlegm.
Oh, he's made a spirit bomb that huge?
Oh shit.
Frieza doesn't appear to know what's going on right now. I don't understand why Goku...
Yeah, to think this isn't even the biggest spirit bomb that we're going to see from Goku, and just like every other spirit bomb, it is fucking worthless. The spirit bomb never works. Why is it his ultimate move?
I wish this thing didn't take so long to get ready.
Well, let me rephrase that. It works in the movies, but the movies are non-canon, so that doesn't count.
This is getting ridiculous.
Also,
How much
I have a
longer
speculation
to keep that up?
about Transformers Reactivate if that ever actually
As long
gets
as I
released.
have to, I guess.
What?
At least story. From what I've gathered,
Hurry, Arnie.
Earth is being overrun with this, weird, like, alien creature or whatever. Like, this, we don't get, like, a very good glance of what it is, but, like, one scene we do see is that something comes down from the sky and actually just impacts a city area. So I wonder if Unicron is attacking Earth or whatever.
My guess is like, if they're really this big on keeping it like mysterious as to what the villainous threat is, my guess is it might be something probably pulled from the comics.
Will remain just that.
Maybe.
Now, I wouldn't know what that
They're
would
talking
be
about, like,
because
a-
I haven't read much of the comics to begin with. I'm thinking
Yeah.
something not Cybertronian in origin.
Stay here.
Maybe.
No matter what, do not leave this
No,
spot.
they talked about a virus that apparently that somehow is able to affect both organic and technology, but specifically technology more than organic.
It's no
And
use.
my best guess is because, like, we see these things, flying around this hellscape of a city. So my mind goes to, these are possibly
Doesn't even have enough
monsters
power
that
to-
Unicron has basically, like, just regurgitated.
You were planning a sneak attack this whole time. How pathetic!
I mean, if this is assuming Reactivate actually comes out. If Unicron
Yeah.
is the ultimate villain, please let us have a proper fight against him. Don't blue ball us again.
Right?
Hurry up and finish that spirit bomb already.
Thanks, Piccolo.
You vile, insignificant pests! How dare you interfere in this?
Seriously, Damon Mills is great at playing angry
So there are more
Frieza.
of you are there.
He angy.
You certainly
He an
know
angy
this
boy.
was limited
He needs some
patience.
chalky milk and some chicken tendies.
It ends now! I will reduce you and this entire planet to nothing but ashes!
All right, it's done.
Do 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 do. Manamana do 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 do. Manamana do 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 do. I'm a charge in my attack.
No! I will not be defeated! And this...
And to think, after all that buildup, Frieza's still not dead. I'm not even gonna pretend that he's dead, because we all know the spirit bomb doesn't fucking work. It's the most useless thing in Goku's move pool.
Krillin!
Hey, you made it.
That would just be too easy.
Yeah!
I mean, it's not even an easy move to pull off. He has to let it charge, and the only way to power it up is to absorb life energy from those on the planet, and in this case, from surrounding planets, because the planet, like, the entire population of Namek is dead, pretty much. He can't draw life from the planet anymore. So he has to draw from
Yeah.
planets around Namek, which is why it got so big.
The energy's fate, but I feel it.
Right, come on, let's go.
Okay,
Okay, what the hell am I sensing? Is that the him? Is
Dad!
that me?
Goku!
Is that me stronger than me? I'll kill me!
I've been trying to find the exact the exact video that's from, but I can never find it. I just heard it on-
It's from the Cell Saga, I'll tell you that much.
Don't scare
Okay.
me like that.
Because, like, the thing that sets off Vegeta and the others to being like, hey, something fucky's going on, is like whenever they sense Cell, they don't sense an individual being. They sense all of them in one place.
Worms, I'm going to eradicate every last one of you.
No! Let him go, Frieza!
Hey, who remembers how this line went in the original Funimation dub? After, because if you watched on Toonami, after Frieza, you know, fucking obliterated Krillin right there, if you watched on Toonami, you would hear Frieza say, "Pop goes the weasel!"
Oh, shit. You done goofed, Frieza.
Yeah, I love how they translated the Super Saiyan transformation into this game. CyberConnect 2 was the perfect studio to handle this. They're known for going all out on their CG animations. And also, I will die on this hill as well. The Super Saiyan transformation in the anime is better than it is in the manga. Not just from the benefit of voice acting and music, but it's an actual proper, like, sequence of him building his rage building until it erupts into him becoming the Super Saiyan. Whereas in the manga, it's like 3 panels.
Hurry, Gohan! Before I lose what little sense of reason I have left!
It's like he's angry, flash to white, now he's a Super Saiyan.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
What's going on? What's happened to him? No, it can't be!
I think I know what's going on.
He has become the legend that you fear.
I've had enough. Now I'm mad, Frieza!
You will know your place, you filthy Saiyan!
Also, from a gameplay perspective, this fight is great because it's just an utter smackdown, just like it was in the original series. Like, Frieza stands no chance here, unless you go out of your way to lose.
Put the freaking slaughter at this point.
Yes. Like, I know from, like, you know, a lot of game critics would be like, well, actually, having the final boss of this section be a complete pushover in this battle makes for an unsatisfying climax. And I'm like, I don't care if it is an anticlimactic fight. Narratively, it's satisfying as fuck.
You know, I was just gonna say, like, right after you started doing the whole bit, actually, bit, I was gonna say, okay, Fumi. Okay,
And actually, you will find that if you compare the English manga translation of Dragon Ball Volume 1 compared to a later scene in Dragon Ball Super, you will find that Bulma has gone up by at least 1 cup size.
Only Hifumi would notice that, no doubt.
Yes, he would.
You can destroy entire planets, but you can't take down one single person?
What are you?
You mean you haven't figured it out yet?
I am the hope of the Omniverse. I am the Alpha and the Omega. I am the terror that flaps in the night.
That's what I am.
I am Son Goku, and I am a super punch in the face Saiyan.
I stand corrected. I suppose the legends were true after all. I hate you! I hate you!
Seriously, Damon Mills is great at screaming in rage-fueled agony.
Is it now? I won't let it end this way. I would
Perfect person to take over the Frieza role.
Scum like you.
Fine by me.
But the one that's going to die isn't me. It'll be you.
Get ready for the 5 minutes.
I can survive in the vacuum of space. Let's find out if the same can be said for Saiyans. This planet will die!
I mean, generally the planet's already dead.
No, the planet's not dead, just everyone on the planet is dead.
Yeah, true.
I must have restrained myself too much. But the core has been completely destroyed. In 5 minutes' time, this planet will explode and become nothing.
Frieza's famous 5 minutes.
5 minutes, huh?
JKR, I know you probably don't get the extent of how much of a joke the 5 minutes is in the fandom.
Get out of here.
Yeah, no, I don't.
In all versions of this scene, he says that the planet's going to explode in 5 minutes.
It's time to show you.
And narratively, this whole final battle between Goku and Frieza takes place within 5 minutes. But in terms of anime length, it took 4 hours. If you're cutting out all the scenes that cut away from the fight.
Besides, you want
Oh,
to test out your full power too, don't you?
And it became such a meme among the Dragon Ball fandom that they had to retcon it later, saying, oh, it actually was 5 minutes. We're just seeing it slowed down so we can perceive how the fight went.
Goku's struggling.
That's also why, in the Team 4-Star version of this, Goku asks him if he has a watch.
No way!
There must be something we can
And asks him if he knows what a minute is.
Yes! That should work! Guardian of Earth, Kami! Can you hear me?
Nope.
I mean, Kami is alive now, so yes, you
Yes,
can hear him.
Genkai, I can hear you.
Would you be able to summon Shenron right away?
Mr. Popo's another character that Team 4-Stars ruined for me, because when I see the actual Mr. Popo, I keep expecting him to be like a total sociopath.
Use them to revive those currently in your care.
Right. Because Earth Dragon Balls can revive many people at once. But can they revive those who died naturally?
I'm afraid those who died of natural causes cannot be brought back.
But what about those whose lives were shortened as a result of an encounter with a...
I love that they're arguing semantics about the Dragon Balls, because that's genuinely the kind of shit you need to do with any kind of wish
If
granter.
only for the brief time that was taken from them.
All right, then. Here's the wish. Ask Shenron to bring back all those that were killed by Frieza and his men.
What?
I'll explain. We don't have much time, so I'll make this quick.
If there's anything that the Norm the Genie episodes of Fairly Odd Parents taught me, it's that you need to be very specific with your wish wording.
That should mean all the...
Otherwise, the wish granter is inclined to screw you over on your wish.
We've only had 2 of the 3 wishes granted with the Namekian Dragon Balls. How very strange.
And I'm not saying I know from experience that you need to be careful with, you know, your wishes. But I'm going to say there may be a cause and effect correlation between why I'm stuck with 2 giant birds called blue-footed boobies.
Anyway, that's the gist of it. Now hurry! Planet Namek won't be around much longer!
Oh, I see. I'll summon Shenron right away.
Now, state your wish.
I also can't take this scene seriously because I always think of like how Mr. Popo summons the dragon. Like he just gathers the Dragon Balls and says, "I'm so fucking high right now." And the dragon refers to him as Lord Popo.
I'm alive. But how is this possible?
Vegeta, don't you know? It's because you have become the legend. The legend that Frieza fears.
Have I returned to the world of the living?
Wendell the Guru of planet Namek. This is King Kai of the North Quadrant of the galaxy. Please listen closely.
Oh my god. Global warming. No!
This is it. I'm going to blow you to a million pieces, just like that Earthling.
I apologize for the excess of Team 4-Star references tonight, but how can we not?
Are you talking about Krillin?
How can you not?
Don't you dare talk about Krillin!
Oh, he pissed.
Now planet Namek is about to explode!
Like, this scene's also a big deal for Goku's character arc in Dragon Ball. If you follow, like, his progression as a character from the beginning of Dragon Ball to this point in Dragon Ball Z, he's known to be, like, a fiercely competitive fighter. We've never seen him this mad before.
Yeah, no.
Understand, King Kai. I appreciate your concern, but wishes must be made directly, I'm afraid. I will contact whomever is closest to the Dragon Balls and tell them your wish.
Wait! Don't make that wish! Listen to me. Ask him to leave both Frieza and me behind. Come on, ask him! You heard us, Goku? I understand what you're trying to do, but... Listen, King Kai. If you don't let me finish things with Frieza, I'm never going to forgive you!
You know what the funny thing in hindsight about this whole, like, Goku having to stay behind on Namek to finish off Frieza thing is? He doesn't finish off Frieza. He lets him live. It's Trunks that finishes him off.
Denne, my child, this is Guru.
Grand Elder Guru?
Please save your questions. I would like you to ask Purunga to grant one final wish. Denne, will you ask him to transport all those on Namek except for Frieza and the Saiyan Goku to Earth?
Okay.
Is something wrong? Do you not have a wish?
Here is our final wish!
I keep forgetting how swole Purunga is for no good reason.
What? That...
Like, does he do, like, deadlifts while he's waiting inside the Dragon Balls? Does he bench press?
Frieza, people...
He obviously skips leg day, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
No!
Popurunga, Frieza, Pipoto, Goku! Pulparito, Rompa,
So this is a thing that Team 4-Star did that was actually from the original. They just changed, like, the spoken language. Is that wishes to the Namekian dragon Purunga have to be in the Namekian language.
Oh, okay.
So that's why Frieza's wish to become immortal doesn't work here.
Oh.
The difference is, like, in the original Dragon Ball Z, as you heard, the language is, like, just a bunch of nonsense syllables.
Yeah.
In Team 4-Star, they did it in Klingon. And it's like actual stuff that translates into English from Klingon.
Oh, jeez. I mean, you can actually learn Klingon on Duolingo, apparently.
My
Yep.
children, this is a planet called Earth. My time is once again at hand, I'm afraid. But before I leave this world once more...
Before I leave this world, I must confess my sins.
The battle against that fiend Frieza still continues back on our home planet.
Would you look at that? You need to speak the local language in order to make a wish. It's just us now, Frieza. Me and you! Finally, I've been waiting for this.
How very curious. It would seem you're willing to pay the ultimate price to settle our conflict. Very well.
All right, we got to fight or we got to fight? There we go, we got to fight.
When I kill you, the destruction of this planet does no good. You will die. Probably.
Once again, total beatdown here. And yeah, it doesn't make for like a mechanically interesting boss fight, but it's just so fun.
Yeah.
It ends now.
Oh damn, I took a lot of damage there. Oh no, the pizzas! That wasn't a pizza! That wasn't a pizza at all! Stuffed crust, King Kai! You can eat it in reverse! There we go. Come get some. I'm here to kick ass and eat pizza, and I'm all out of pizza.
I'm done.
You're done?
This fight is over. There's no point anymore. I can tell you're afraid. I don't need to defeat you anymore.
You dare mock me?
I forgot I owe you 2 pizzas!
I'm not going to fall for it!
Watch out! Get down! Get down!
Uh-oh.
How can this be?
You know, it's a shame that this is a teen-rated game, so they can't actually show him being cut in half.
You brought this upon yourself, Frieza. Though I have to admit, I didn't see it ending quite like this.
But hey, you gotta hand it to him. He was a cut above the rest.
You can stay here and suffer the same.
Now it's time for Goku to split.
I
Thank you.
I disagree. I think I think Frieza's more half the being that he used to be.
Of mercy. I beg you. How can you beg for mercy? How many people begged you for mercy before you slaughtered them? How many?
From one neighbor to another. Can I borrow a cup of energy?
I've given you just a little bit of my energy. That's all you get. You're on your own.
I am the greatest being in the universe. And that is why you must die by my hand!
You fool!
Part of me wants to take this scene in any of the many forms it's been in and replace Goku shouting "You fool" with Gilbert Gottfried saying "You fool."
I was thinking Puro reverse, but okay, that probably makes more sense.
All right, time to find the muffin button.
Do you know the Muffin Man?
Depends on which Muffin Man we're talking about. Are we talking about the one that lives on Drury Lane? Or are we talking about the man that is made of muffin, as seen in Space Ghost Coast to Coast, Season 1, Episode 8, Fat Mantis?
Back on Earth, Vegeta and the relocated Namekians resolved to stay with Bulma for the time being.
Ow.
Not much time had passed before Grand Elder Guru once again passed away, this time surrounded by his people. With Mori as the new Grand Elder, the Namekian Dragon Balls would be ready in 1 Namekian year, or 130 days on Earth. Though the Namekian Dragon Balls were only capable of reviving 1 person per wish, they could revive those that had died multiple times. Upon making their...
If you're wondering why different dragons have different rules, there's actually an in-lore explanation for that.
Some shocking news.
Oh?
The abilities of the dragon's wish-granting power are limited by the abilities of the Namekian Elder who creates the set of Dragon Balls.
Was brought back to Earth with the first wish.
So, like, Shenron, the Earth's dragon, was created by Kami and can revive people from death, but only once, and only if they were, like, killed, not if they died from natural causes, and he can only grant 1 wish. The Namekian dragon, Porunga, can grant 3 wishes, can revive people who have died multiple times and have died of non-natural, and can revive people who have died of natural causes, but can only revive 1 person at a time, as opposed to groups of people.
Hey, it's me, Goku! What's that now? You're telling me Frieza's alive? And right
Oh boy, we're about to get into my favorite part of the story. Technically, the Android Saga starts it off, but then we'll be getting into Cell.
While I'm not there, aren't they?
In more ways than one.
Frieza. Huh? Who are you? Stay tuned for the next episode of Dragon Ball Z, the fight for the future against the Android Terror. You don't want to miss it.
I love that they include these next episode previews like you're actually watching a show. They really went all out on making this feel like Dragon Ball. Yeah, and 18, the killer waifu. Or as I've heard Sonny Strait, the voice actor of Krillin, refer to her, my artificially intelligent blow up doll.
Oh, jeez.
Not already artificially intelligent. My advanced sentient blow up doll is what he calls her.
Okay, that's slightly better. But
Because she's not. Remember, I had to remind myself. Even though she's called Android 18, she's not an android. She's a cyborg.
Okay, I guess. You lost a lot of ground during.
And the whole like android cyborg confusion is just a case of like the dub choosing to call them androids, whereas the terminology used in the Japanese version was artificial human.
Oh, all right then. Fine. You can run outside for a breather, but make sure you don't take too long.
So we've got another intermission segment now. These happen in between major chapters, where it's basically like you can do side quests, you can level grind. Not as scary as Terra Plaid is to Yuri Lowenthal. Agreed. And starting in this intermission, we can start gathering the Dragon Balls and making wishes.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Later.
Huh? Hi there. Hello?
And some of those wishes include bringing back characters that we killed in previous chapters, so we can kick their asses again.
Thank you so much. Time to see what I can do.
And intermissions are the only time you can freely form a party of whatever characters you want. Otherwise, like during story segments, you're limited to whatever the story dictates. And the intermissions, like, you can skip them entirely if you want to. But you're missing out on a lot of side story content and a lot of experience. And other neat things if you skip out on the intermissions. So I like to do as much as I can in each intermission before moving on, and that includes on stream.
Makes sense.
Okay, Super Masenko level 2. Can Gohan train any new moves? Doesn't look like it. Nah, there's no new super moves for Gohan to learn, unfortunately. But there are ones for other characters. Or at least I think they should be unlocked by now. Who should we... We're gonna get Vegeta in our party, definitely. And Piccolo for a neat little attention to detail.
Yeah.
And we're about to see that attention to detail if I have all the ingredients that I need. If you go to Chi-Chi, which, we haven't been able to go to her for a while because we've been on Namek. You can have her prepare full course meals for you.
Ready to hit the books again, Gohan?
Full course meals give you a bunch of time limited status bonuses. Damn, I don't have everything I need. Well, I can cook everything I need.
Well then, ready to hit the books again, Gohan?
Let's see, we need whole roast on the bone. I'll just fix everything that I can. And we can get recipes for more kinds of feasts by talking to NPCs. think we should be good for a full course meal now. Nope, I need a meat lover's meat feast, which I don't have the ingredients for, but I can probably find a recipe for a different full course meal. I'm intent on showing you guys this neat attention to detail that involves having Piccolo in your party when you're fixing a full course meal. Not just because it's my autistic hyperfixation, but also because I genuinely find it really cool that they remembered to do this. Also, I love that they remembered to put Vegeta in his Batman shirt for this part of the game. For since JKR, I know you only watched Dragon Ball Z Abridged. The shirt that Vegeta wore during this part that kept on changing its saying on the back in Dragon Ball Z Abridged to like different obscene things. It just says Badman originally.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna get 92 degrees weather tomorrow. Yeah.
You think that's bad? It was almost 100 here today.
Oh, shit.
I would gladly trade my 100-degree weather for something slightly less hot.
Yeah, right? Oh.
Damn it, missed my timing there. Alright, Vegeta's down. Now to take down Nappa and Raditz. Okay, Raditz, you're being a pest, so you're going down next. Hey, Shadow Dragon, just saw you in chat. Sorry if I'm a bit late. I'm feeling much better. I'm feeling that spark again, even though I only took a couple days off. I actually was like really tempted to stream anyway on my days off, but I was like, no, you have to commit.
Yes.
You're going on a trip to Bend, Oregon. What, are you going to the last blockbuster in the world? Because if so, why didn't you invite me, you bastard? That's not Billy Mays. That's everyone's favorite character who is hilarious, and you will quote everything that he says. Nappa. Technically, since this is an apparition of Nappa, does that make it Ghost Nappa? Does this mean that Ghost Nappa has finally appeared in something official? Damn, rain on my parade.
Well, if it's still not functioning, Shadow Dragon, why the hell ain't you fixing it?
Yeah, what are you, a Sony engineer trying to fix PlayStation Stars? Which, by the way, is still down after almost 3 weeks. And they've only just now put out a public statement apologizing for it being down and saying, like, by the way, while it's down, get these free Astrobot avatars. So I just got back in. What the fuck is Nappa doing here? We beat Frieza. We're in the intermission. And I'm getting some of Vegeta's super moves and some of Piccolo's super moves, which involve them fighting, like, apparitions of other characters. Yeah, I'll have some coffee. Alright, so we got the Super Gallic Gun.
What kind of coffee do you got with you tonight?
Some fresh coffee with vanilla almond milk and French vanilla syrup.
Nice.
It's called Special Training, and it's how you unlock a lot of the super moves for each of the characters. It's like in lore, it's like astral projection training is how they explain it in the context of this game's story. But yes, what were you going to ask, JKR?
I wonder, what's your preferred brand of coffee?
I have to, I mean, I've been using Cafe Bustelo, which is technically espresso, but I really dilute it, so it's not, like, super caffeinated.
Yeah.
I had a whole discussion. I had a whole discussion about this on Blue Sky with another VTuber that I seem to have hit it off with, where we were talking about, like, our taste in coffee.
Because personally, I don't know how you feel about hazelnut.
I don't feel one way or the other on hazelnut, mostly due to not having much experience tasting hazelnut flavored stuff. I've never even really had Nutella.
Yeah. Because the thing is, my preferred flavor of coffee, surprisingly enough, is mocha hazelnut from Pete's Coffee. And to me, I'm like, the only thing I add to it is like the French vanilla almond creamer to, to cool it down and give it a little extra flavor.
That sounds heavenly.
It's great.
But yeah, I usually get Cafe Bustelo, or failing that, I'll just get like the store brand. I'm not too particular about my brands of coffee. It's more about the flavor that I have that I'm picky about. But Cafe Bustelo, dilute it with enough water, like a good water to coffee ground ratio. So it's not like you're drinking an entire pot of espresso, which would be very unhealthy. Like, makes for a good pick-me-up.
Right.
I'll fix like one pot a day and drink that throughout the day with like one of my ever-growing collection of Yeti mugs. I've had a lot of French vanilla and like regular vanilla syrups and creamers. I've recently been turned on to Irish cream syrup. I would love to get some Irish cream creamer, but I can't find it in stock anywhere near me without me having to like go to an ABC store and buy some actual Bailey's Irish cream. But I'm like, no, I don't want to get drunk. I want my coffee. Mixing coffee and alcohol is a terrible idea for multiple reasons, but the main one is that caffeine acts as sort of a way to counteract the depressant qualities of alcohol and leads to you thinking that you're not as intoxicated as you are, so you drink more alcohol and risk alcohol poisoning from it.
Yep.
That's part of the reason why Four Loko had such controversy behind it, because it was like a mix of an energy drink and beer. Well, it depends on when you got the Four Loko. If you got it in, like, the 2000s when it was at its peak of popularity, then it would have been a lot heavier than it is now, where they've had to really tone down what's old marketing point used to be, due to too many people getting, dying from getting too intoxicated from Four Loko.
Yeah.
And also, it's not like Four Loko is something really strong. It's the fact that it has the caffeine in there that leads to you potentially drinking more of it than you should. That makes it dangerous, as opposed to just having a high alcohol content. Also, Niji-Sanji Japan, where the Japanese government got involved. I haven't been following that, but it's been satisfying to see Niji-Sanji get their comeuppance. Also, didn't a former Niji-Sanji member just join Hololive in their new English generation? I know it was someone that was like previously a VTuber under a different name, is now part of the new Holo EN generation. I may be remembering that wrong. I'm hyped. Like, I was not hyped about the new... I could go for some pizza.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a couple former Nijis in VShojo now. Like, Kuro is a former Niji-Sanji member as well. But so is, obviously, Matsura. But, like I was trying to say, I'm getting distracted by the memes. Speaking of the Vine Sauce memes that have gradually infested my streams, there's a Vine Sauce inspired meme game that I would love to stream sometime once it enters like public early access, which should be sometime soon. For those of you that are familiar with Vinny's older streams, he had like a recurring segment where he would play this one mini game on Mario Party Island Tour called The Choice's Voice, which is where like it's a mini game where you have to do impressions of different Mario characters, and the game judges you based on the accuracy of your impression. And some mad lad has taken it upon themselves to make a standalone clone of The Choice's Voice called The Choicer Voicer, which is like open source and moddable, so you can insert your own sound clips that you have to do impressions of. and it's already, like, Vinny streamed it once already. It's already had some cursed effects. Like, him having to do an impression of the grapefruit technique. But anyways, like I was trying to say about the HoloLive English stuff, I felt like there wasn't much of like a hype build up to the new generation, but I'm pleasantly surprised by the new members, especially what's her name, Elizabeth Rose Bloodflame, just for being the first properly British HoloLive English member, and for her like having a fucking beautiful singing voice, woman after my own heart. And also, if I remember correctly, one of the new Holo EN members is Italian. So we've got, like, a lot more European representation now, as opposed to previously, where, like, the only one of them who was in or from Europe was Kiara. Italian, German, Austrian, and Japanese. Yes.
I'll be back. I gotta get more water for my ice.
Okay. And of course we've got Bay representing Down Under. We used to have Sana representing Down Under too, but you know, she retired unfortunately not very long after graduated unfortunately not very long after she debuted. I hope she's doing well. Keep in mind, I'm doing all this without equipping the Super Gallic gun, so my moves are like really underleveled for a level 35 fight, especially since I'm only level 33. I'm just brute forcing this shit like I tend to do. Due to her chronic back issues. I don't know whether that's serious or whether that's a joke about how massive her booba were. Speaking of massive booba, Cloud, I sent in the commission request to my artist Shiba last night, and she is very excited to draw the two of us in some fan art together. Just to give you like a little rundown on what it's going to be. It's going to be us cosplaying as our Senron favorites and like doing like a friendly rivalry, smirking at each other. So now you'll have two pieces of art where you're dressed as Katsuragi. And depending on like what we can get away with on Twitch, because I do want to show it off on Twitch, she's going to make like a safer Twitch version and a like, yes, me as Murasaki and you as Katsuragi. And like she's going to try and make a version that's safe to show on Twitch, and then one that's like, neither of these are going to be like not safe for work, but you know, Twitch is really anal about like, oh, you're showing slightly too much cleavage, so we're going to take you down your entire channel. You know, more of a safety precaution thing rather than like, you know, wanting something to put behind a paywall.
By the way, I'm back.
Welcome back.
How's it going?
Yeah, we finished off Frieza. We're in the intermission now, and I'm just doing like special training.
All right.
And trying to remember to actually replace my old moves with their upgraded versions.
It's always important to do that, for sure. Yeah, sorry that it took me so long to get back.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah, we went out for dinner, had a delicious meal at the local McDonald's.
Ooh.
Yeah,
some fine dining.
Guess
and
who's
breathing.
Back again. JKR's back. Tell a friend.
Ah, shit, JKR's here. Everybody run for the hills.
Oh, no!
Screw you too, Ari.
Name the time and place, buddy. Lord Pegatron strikes again.
Oh my god. He's my cousin. We don't like to talk about him.
Okay, now that's funny. I've not heard that before.
Bitch, let's go to Wendy's. Hell yeah. Except the Wendy's near me I don't like going to because, like, they're consistently understaffed, and even when they do have, like, a decent amount of staff, they still take forever to get your orders.
Yeah, I've
Like-
realized that Wendy's has gone down in quality over the last, like, 5 years. They're still the better place to go besides, like, Culver's. But, like, they've gone down in quality.
I feel like I'm losing
Somewhat.
power.
I mean, I like Culver's. That's my go-to fast food joint.
I don't have the choice to go to Culver's because they are not very prevalent in my state. There's like one I can think of in the entire state, and it's on an interstate on the way to visit my dad.
It's really a Midwest thing, don't you know?
Yeah, just like you guys are apparently soon going to be getting Bojangles, which is a strictly North Carolina thing.
Yeah, I don't know when that's gonna go through, but I know it's on its. I know it's working its way through here.
It's working its way through you like a nasty itch.
Yeah, well, not for me.
I can handle this.
Hey, they occasionally have seafood there, like once a year.
Depending on how good I
Seafood's
do.
good.
Seafood-
I will say this to describe Bojangles for both of you, since you are not Southerners like me. Bojangles is good Popeyes.
I lived in Texas for 4 years, basically, but I've never heard of Bojangles. So.
Bojangles is mostly like southeast, like North Carolina to Georgia.
Okay, so like the colonies area
Yeah,
is.
and it's
Okay.
like it's Cajun seasoned chicken, but unlike Popeyes, it's actually good.
Okay.
I'm actually looking forward to it now. That sounds really good. I love decently seasoned chicken. Oh, why won't you fucking talk?
because dodging is for the weak. I just tank my hits like a Chad.
Why?
Oh! Oh!
Literally his last words before he dies.
Yep. For the first time.
I know. It's true.
Screw you, Mother Nature!
Damn you, Pavlov! For those of you that don't know who Pavlov is, give us a brief moment to explain. Back in 1924... Come on, JKR, you could have done that.
It just, like, I just heard a thunderclap around here, so... I don't know if it's, I don't know what the weather's like by you right now, Chuck, but it's,
No,
it's raining.
It's doing the same over here. Not raining, but it's thunderclapping.
Hey now!
Yep.
We could go for some storms down here. It's been really hot and dry.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah!
Okay, we just got a new recipe for a full course, so I can finally show you guys the thing that I wanted to show you that only happens if you have Piccolo in your party while cooking a full course meal. And that's assuming that I have everything I need to make the full course seafood meal. I'm not going to end this stream until I get to show you guys that.
I mean, you know, I tell people, it's like, I'm on a seafood diet.
I see food and I eat it.
Exactly.
Ha 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 ha.
No, but seriously, I do eat seafood.
I'm Norwegian. I love seafood. It's my favorite. It's my favorite type of food. So, like, whenever anyone makes jokes, whenever anyone makes jokes about seafood not being good, I'm just like, come on, man. Seafood's really good if you know how to cook it right.
Yeah. Hell, I worked at a fish market for like a year and a half, so I should know what kind of fish is good and what's not.
The lax Blockbuster doesn't really have games for rent anymore. Yeah, that makes sense.
I have a question for you guys. Do you count fish as animals?
Yes. They're definitionally animals.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've met people that will die on the hill that they're plants.
They're entitled to their stupid opinion.
Yes, I agree. I full on agree.
These things bleed. How are they plants?
Like, I admit, I am what's called a pescatarian. I subscribe to the whole vegetarian thing, but I still eat seafood and fish. And I flat out know that's a living damn animal.
Yeah. You can get a disease from that thing. Like, plants don't really give you much else of a disease than maybe indigestion.
Unless the plant itself has been contaminated with like bacteria from being improperly handled, but like not naturally occurring diseases in them.
Yeah, like an animal would, if not consumed correctly.
Right. Anyways, you guys want to see this neat attention to detail that happens if you cook a full course meal with Piccolo in your party?
Let's see it.
That I've been hyping up.
Ooh.
This is the seafood course meal.
Oh, that looks heavenly.
Piccolo doesn't eat anything because Namekians don't eat. They subsist entirely on water.
Mm-hmm.
They actually went out of their way to animate him differently than everyone else. They didn't have to, but that's attention to detail I appreciate.
That is definitely something that I can appreciate too.
Yeah.
Like, I can eat, but I don't really have to.
Let's see, we got Dragon Ball over here. Might as well go on a Dragon Ball hunt while we're in the intermission.
By the way, have any of you guys played Dragon Ball: The Breakers?
I think I can handle
I have it on. I have it as like a monthly free PS Plus game, but I haven't played it yet because I want to have like a party of friends to play it with. I don't want to play with randos.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, games like that aren't fun without friends. So
Yeah, especially like part of the reason I don't want to play it with randos is because I know just from like how these asymmetrical multiplayer type games work is that everyone's going to queue for the monster, or in this case, the Dragon Ball supervillain, and that means that like it's not going to be fun for most people.
if you don't know them and you're not sure if they're good, yeah, I understand that.
Like that's part of the thing that killed when Resident Evil attempted that with the multiplayer mode for the Resident Evil 3 remake. Part of the reason that died off so quick is because it was basically impossible to get to play as the monster. Because like everyone would queue for the monster or mastermind technically, since in that one you're not directly controlling the monsters, you're like spawning monsters. But yeah, everyone wanted to play as, you know, iconic Resident Evil villains. Instead, they get stuck because everyone's queuing for the same role. They get stuck as generic McWho the fuck.
Generic McWho the fuck. I've never heard that one before. Yep.
I just made it up.
Oh, you did?
I tend to have like something Mc last name as like my go-to for like made up names for like making a passing insult towards something.
Yeah. So generic McWho the fuck. Arikado.
Like
Michael McDuffie exist.
Like the way another example that of that naming scheme that I typically go with is like whenever I describe a character that looks like the default male or female NPC, that's like always a white man or white woman, I refer to them as generic McWhite dude.
Generic. That's funny. Generic McWhite dude. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm a little tired. So
I don't blame you.
I woke up at 6 o'clock this morning for work, and I got to do the same tomorrow. So I probably need to start heading to bed pretty soon. I'll stay on for just a little bit longer though.
Okay, yeah. I appreciate you taking time out to join us tonight, especially on such short notice. Because I didn't make that post until like a couple hours before stream was set to start. Because it took me that long to get home.
Oh boy.
Well, not that long to get home as in like long travel, but in terms of I couldn't go home until later in the day because I had a doctor's appointment at 2 in the afternoon, and it took the doctor an hour to get to me after that appointment was supposed to start.
Oh jeez. A lot of dusting to do in this room, and then also gotta make sure everything's clear for when the new desk comes in, and then also make sure that the back wall actually gets treated because it is crumbling fast. Ugh.
You know what they say, that's the way the desk crumbles.
You know, here's the stupid thing. The new desk was actually supposed to arrive today, but Amazon pushed it back tomorrow for whatever dumbass reason.
You're not the only person that's had that problem. My mom ordered something on Amazon that was supposed to be delivered yesterday, and it got pushed back to just some nebulous time in the future.
one of my favorite like laissez-faire things to say is like, well, you know what they say, it is what it is. It's just
Yeah.
it's so and it's one of MGO's go-tos, and it's one of my favorites.
I mean, yeah, granted, I will give Ngo credit the fact that he doesn't let much bother him when it comes to the quality of a figure. Like, if it's not the way it was supposed to, like, people are complaining how it's like, oh, it's not like it should be in their opinion. And he's like, well, it is what it is. And it's like, that is true. I don't like the fact that he, he has the same cookie cutter review system, though. But, hey, it's just, I kind of lost interest in him over time.
I mean, one of my favorite laissez-faire things to say is, you know what they say? Nothing, because they took a vow of silence.
Okay. Fair enough. That's awesome.
They took a vow of silence. What was I supposed to say?
Right?
Fair enough is also one of those laissez-faire things I like to say as well. It's the... I don't know. Yeah.
And of course, there's another one that I like to say is, you know what they say, the more the merrier.
Yourself, you could never beat me.
All right.
From if you don't know that, in the game Shadow the Hedgehog, there's a boss fight you can do against Dr. Eggman where, due to some very poor coding, he just spams the same move over and over again, which results in him just saying, you know what they say, the more the merrier, over and over and over.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I haven't played like a lot of the older 3D Sonic games. I've only
understandable because you couldn't for a long time.
Yeah. You know my story, so yeah. And when I really where I started playing a lot of the console versions of Sonic the Hedgehog was when Lost World came out, and that was like a year after. Well, didn't Lost World come out in like 2018?
No, it came to Steam in 2018, but originally launched on the Wii U in, I believe it was 2013.
Okay, yeah, because it was like a year after my operation that I got it on Steam. So,
the Steam version. Believe it or not, the Steam version's actually not the preferred way to play Sonic Lost World. As someone that's played, it is not on the Switch. It has not been ported to anything except Steam and 3DS. As someone that's played every version of Lost World so far, the best way to play it right now is still on the Wii U, because the 3DS version is basically an entirely different game, just with the same plot, so you don't get the same experience. And the Steam version removes anything that would have required the Wii U touchscreen capabilities, which results in you not being able to do the unlockable carnival minigames, which is how you're meant to cut down on the amount of repeating the same level over and over again to meet the rescued animal quotas.
So
honestly, they cut out
why there were so many levels that were the same.
Well, part of that's because it was just a very lazily developed game, from what I can tell. They were trying to make it more Mario-like.
I realized
since it was a Wii U exclusive, they were trying to make it appeal to Mario fans, and in the process, appealed to nobody.
Let's go. I'm a Sonic.
But they took out the way to cut down on the grinding without adjusting how much grinding you have to do, So the PC version's just a more frustrating game to play.
I think I can handle this.
It's no wonder I gave up on it. Yeah.
Like, Lost World is one of the few Sonic games that I can say you could skip it and you will not be any worse off for it, because it's just such a nothing game. It's competent as a game. It's functional. It's not offensively bad, but it's not interesting to talk about, and it's not very memorable apart from having one of the worst sets of villains in any Sonic game ever. The Deadly Six.
Did they show up again in...
They showed up again in the IDW comics and in one of the racing games, but they haven't shown up in, like, games since then very often, because it seems like Sega's finally gotten the message that nobody wants the Deadly Six to be our new recurring villains.
Yeah, honestly, if they would take, like, some of the villains from the old Archie game... well, no, they can't do that.
They can't do that due to copyright issues with our
Penders.
Lord and Savior Ken Penders, the creator of all echidnas.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Did you know that they referenced Ken Penders in the Knuckles Paramount series?
I haven't seen it yet, so don't spoil anything for me.
I haven't seen it myself either. I've just seen, like, a clip where, like, they're doing a flashback to Knuckles' past presented as, like, a puppet show or, like, a stage play. And
That's
what they use to represent Knuckles' dad is a puppet echidna that has Ken Penders' glasses and mustache.
Jeez.
Oh, man. I bet he had a field day when he found out about that.
Oh, he's already threatened to sue Paramount over them taking inspiration from one of his contributions to Archie Sonic. And I'm like, please, I'm like,
surprised me one bit.
Like the whole backstory of the Master Emerald in the Sonic 2 movie, where it can be used to empower someone to a godlike state, was that drew inspiration from Enerjack from the Archie comics. And
yeah, I was thinking, like, I saw that in the movie. I'm like, are they gonna do Enerjack? How are they doing Enerjack?
And Ken Penders is like, he's taught, like, as soon as that movie hit theaters, he was talking about suing Paramount. And I'm like, please do, so you can get your ass rammed in court.
Yeah. I would have actually loved
Sega may have lost against you due to general incompetence, because as recent events have shown, them losing their contracts proving that they have ownership of Sonic stuff is not a one-time thing. But Paramount's not gonna let that fly, son.
Yeah, no. They make too much money to let your decrepit ass make any money off of this.
Like, the general response I see to Ken Penders, usually on Twitter when it's people not just trolling him, is people saying, like, dude, don't you have a comic you're supposed to be working on? Why are you on Twitter 24/7?
Yeah. He's, like, always talking about the next Lara Sue comic.
Yeah, he's talking about how he's totally going to finally come out with the Lara Sue Chronicles, and it's totally going to be a smash hit, and it still hasn't come out.
Dude, his art style is just so gross. I don't know how to say it.
Gross is a good way to say it, because it looks wrong. Like, yeah, I get these are non-human characters, but you still have to follow basic rules of anatomy.
Yeah, and just these things look sickly, and like they shouldn't be able to stand.
Like, it's not just the anatomy that's bad, it's how he colors and shades things.
I know. That's what I mean, sickly. It's like they don't look well. The way he draws their faces. It's just like they look like they have like some kind of terminal disease.
Like, my lukewarm take on Ken Penders, from having looked at, like, his attempts at media outside of Archie comics, is he's someone that couldn't hack it in any of the like higher tier comic publishers. So he decided to use Sonic as a playground for him to tell the stories that no one else would pick up because they were terrible. Like, he tried to get signed on to Image Comics at one point, and that was the entire reason that the Archie Sonic and Image Comics crossover happened, where, like, it barely has anything to do with Image or Sonic. It's basically just an OC he was introducing for a new Image Comics limited series that only made it, like, 1 or 2 issues before being canceled, is the focus.
Who is that?
I can't remember. All of his character. No, this was before Laura Sue was introduced. This was like a human superhero character who was like a Japanese woman who gets powers from nuclear radiation from, if I remember correctly, being descended from someone that was at Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
I think I can handle this.
Oh.
Like, he wanted to be with Image so bad, but they didn't want him. And for 90s Image, that's pretty pathetic.
I know. Pender's style is just straight up dog water. It's not good. Never has been. Like, I thought that the original comics were pretty good up until like they let Pen do a majority of the art, and then it's
yeah.
Like, ugh. Ooh. And apparently he hated Sonic too, and he didn't want him and Sally to be together. It's so much that he created.
Yeah, he preferred on Sally ending up with one of his OCs.
Yeah,
and went to the point of like writing a basically a fanfic where. Yeah, it was God, what was that guy? Jeffrey St. John was the name of the character he wanted her to end up with.
What an uninspired name! Like, it's just.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the king of uninspired names outside of like late era Looney Tunes. I say late era Looney Tunes for the original run, like 60s era, where they started discontinuing the original characters and introducing new ones with names like Cool Cat and yeah, that's the only one I can think of.
Wait, so
Daddy Derek Daddy Derek did not create a character named Cool Cat first. Looney Tunes did that a good 40 years earlier. Oh god, the Derek Savage rabbit hole is something I don't know if you're prepared to go down. But I remembered another one of those, another duo of those late era Looney Tunes that didn't last very long from the 60s was Bunny and Claude, who were basically rabbit versions of Bonnie and Clyde who robbed carrot patches, and that's their whole shtick.
Was this from like Tiny Toons or something?
No, these were official Looney Tunes from the 1960s, from when they started pivoting to airing on television instead of being made for theaters. It was like when DePatie Freeling Enterprises took over production because Warner Brothers had shut down their animation division.
So
which, you know,
this is before they took on Hanna-Barbera.
Yes, this is before Hanna-Barbera and Looney Tunes and all that got merged into one company.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So just like really uninspired characters.
It was basically
that.
It was basically like Looney Tunes trying to compete with Hanna-Barbera. To give you an idea of like how cheap and shitty these were.
I mean, Hanna-Barbera stuff was like very derivative. Like, there's like 5 different shows that are like based off of like all the characters from the Scooby Gang.
Yes, they love their roving gang of teenagers solving mysteries with a talking dog.
Or
they love to do that over and over.
Speed Buggy, remember that show?
Yeah, or a talking speed buggy, or a talking shark.
Yeah. I actually really liked
Average Jaw.
Speed Buggy. That was one of my favorites. I actually kind of liked Speed Buggy a little bit better than I liked Scooby for a while, because I was so sick and tired of Scooby at the time. So
And one of their more successful cases being the Jetsons, which when you get down to it is just the Flintstones in the future.
Yeah, basically.
But it's distinct enough in its identity that it doesn't feel like a recycled concept.
Yeah, it's not really that derivative. It's just the family trope, but in different timelines.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's... I see what you're saying, that it's like the Flintstones, but in the future. But
when I say it's the Flintstones in the future, that's probably how it was pitched to the networks.
Probably. I would not be surprised. A lot of the same voice actors too, so
yeah. But late era Looney Tunes had some really uncreative names, and that's like my direct point of comparison for how Ken Pender's names his stuff. Like, to give you some more examples of uncreative Ken Pender's names, the doctor in Not Whole Village is a doc named Dr. Quack.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Which honestly, I
forgot about that. I knew about that.
I prefer Professor Quack from Spy Corps. He's a more interesting character than, Dr. Quack. And I'm not kidding either.
What would have been more creative is if he said Dr. Quack. That would have been more creative.
And like the Mobius equivalent of Australia is called Down Under.
I remember that. It's where Knuckles originally came from. Is in the comics. I remember that.
Also, like
I'm pretty sure that's where he was from. Was it?
I can't remember because I didn't read much of early art. I didn't read that much of Archie while it was running, just due to not having easy access to, like, where I could get the issues.
Like, honestly, me and my brother used to just rent the little omnibuses from the library. Is where we got them all the time.
My library didn't have any cool stuff like that, so I couldn't do that. But what I do like that Archie did, which I wish more comic companies would do, is they, like, for a period in the 2000s, they had, like, a catalog in each issue of their comics where you could order back issues of that comic that they, like, still had in stock at their warehouse. So, like, let's say you were reading, like, one of the post-issue 100 issues of Sonic, you could order, like, if they still had it in stock, you could order, like, stuff from the beginning of the run. You could order, like, the Sonic Super Special issues from previous runs. You could order the Knights miniseries. I got screwed with the Knights miniseries because I ordered that, and it turns out there were 2 Knights miniseries, and you have to have read the first one to understand the second, and they only sent me the second miniseries.
Oh no. That sucks.
But, like, that's how I got the special issue that adapted Sonic Adventure. Long after that issue had gone out of print.
Oh, guys, I'm gonna switch gears, but, like, speaking of comics that are, like, really not well known, have you guys ever read the Dark Horse Speed Racer comics?
No, I haven't. I haven't read much Dark Horse stuff.
Dude, these things are dark. Like, Speed Racer is, like, a really cheesy show, but this was, like... some of this stuff, like, I would not expect to be in a book about a boy in his car. Like there were just like full on murder mysteries in it. It was like really good stuff though. Like if you ever get a chance to, I would highly suggest reading it.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Like this is like when Speed and Trixie are like 25 years old. They're not kids anymore. So
like, I'm interested in checking this out, even as someone that hasn't seen much of Speed Racer, just because I grew up in an era where Speed Racer wasn't on TV for reruns unless you had Boomerang, which I didn't. And the incarnation of Speed Racer that I was introduced to was Speed Racer X, which was not on the air for very long in America due to international rights issues with the Speed Racer IP. Like, it had a brief run on a short-lived Nickelodeon competitor to Toonami, but it wasn't on that short-lived block for very long because it turns out that they didn't actually have the rights to air that because the rights to Speed Racer internationally were still owned by the company that dubbed the original Speed Racer.
Oh.
It's sort of like Harmony Gold and Robotech. Except they didn't.
Don't even get me started on that.
Except they didn't Except they didn't fuck over the license for decades. It was just like once their license was up, they let it expire instead of going to court to hold on to it longer.
Dude, Harmony Gold, they're a bunch of bastards. Like, just let it lapse and just let somebody that actually wants to do something with it take it.
Right?
Like, the last I heard was that Harmony Gold was, like, partnering with Funimation to get the other Macross series out there and get them proper dubs. But, like...
Yeah, that didn't go anywhere because now they don't exist anymore. They've lapsed into Crunchyroll now.
Yeah, but
so.
Like, Harmony Gold's a weird instance where, like, they only exist because of one franchise that they did not create, but they will hold on to until their dying breath.
Yeah.
Like, no more.
Oh no, we got digitally mastered.
They need to do something with that. Like, just do something with it. For God's sake, just do something with Robotech.
Yeah.
Make a new show.
They've been trying to make new shows. They've done Kickstarters for new shows, but they never end up leading to anything getting made. It's all a bunch of empty promises, but because they attempt to make something, that allows them to hold on to the rights.
Like, okay, those of you fans out there of Robotech, if there are any amongst Ari's group,
I know Kier likes Robotech just due to nostalgia, but he hates Harmony Gold.
If you see anything, I'm talking to your audience for just a second. If you see anything Robotech related, or like what Ari said, like a fundraiser, like crowdfunding, don't touch it. Don't touch it. They will hold on to that license until their dying breath. If they don't get any money, they won't be able to renew it. Just let it die. And then somebody else that actually deserves it will get a hold of it. Just do it for all our sakes and our sanity. I'm done.
You know, what I find funny about Harmony Gold having such a death grip on Robotech is that despite being so possessive of that IP, there's still a piece of Robotech media that they refuse to be, that they are responsible for, that they refuse to allow to be distributed in a modern form, so you have to rely on bootlegs of it to watch it.
Is it the movie?
It's the movie.
Yeah.
They're so ashamed of it that they refuse to put it on like Blu-ray or DVD or streaming.
Yeah, it's not good.
Not only is it not good, they knew it was going to be not good because it only aired in... It was only released theatrically in one city.
What city was that?
It was somewhere in like bumfuck nowhere, Texas.
Oh.
Oh, of course.
For like a couple of weekends only, and then they pulled it from theaters so they could like fulfill their contractual obligation to release this footage as a theatrical film.
Oh, no. Yeah. I've seen the movie. It's not... I would say it's enjoyable, but it's not a good movie at all. It's not.
Part of it is that the footage they were working with had nothing to do with the Robotech series, and also part of it was that it was too adult for the kid-oriented Robotech.
I know. I remember. But, like, you know, if you really think about it, part 2 of Robotech isn't really kid-friendly either, because, what's his name? Sterling. I forgot what his first name
I've never
is.
seen Robotech, so I couldn't tell you. I have met one of the Robotech voice actors before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Tony Oliver was at one of the first conventions I went to.
Yeah, Rick Hunter.
Yeah, Rick Hunter.
Yeah.
I know him as Bang Shishigami from Blaze Blue.
Yeah,
or at least the
he's
original
good.
voice of
That's
Bang
what
Shishigami before he got replaced by Steve Kramer. No disrespect to Steve Kramer, but Tony Oliver embodies Bang Shishigami to me. No one else can compare.
Yeah, Tony Oliver is like one of the few like voice actors from the 70s and 80s that's still active today in anime.
The only one I like outside of just anime, like the only one I can think of that was like that's been active for decades and is still active is like Frank Welker and Peter Cullen.
Well, I mean, you technically could consider Transformers an anime because it was partially made by a Toei, so...
For some episodes, but not all of them.
Yeah, for some episodes, not all of them. But you can really see it in season 3.
And you can especially see it in the movie.
At the end. Oh, yeah, especially in the movie. Like, just... The movie, it has some of the best visuals I've ever seen in Transformers Bottom Line. It's like the whole opening scene is just a work of art.
Yeah, but like Frank Welker has been an active voice actor since the 60s. That's impressive.
Well, what I mean is, like, I'm talking about like anime voice
anime voice actors. Like, there's not that many of them from that 70s era of like, they didn't even call it anime in the West back then. They either tried to pretend it was an American cartoon, or they would call it Japanimation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Just called it a Japanese animated cartoon. But, yeah, those... yeah, a lot of... I can only really name Tony Oliver as one of the only active voice actors from that era still active today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like if you want to go a little bit forward to like 80s era, we've got Wendy Lee, who is still acting today, and like one of her earliest roles in anime was in the short-lived Harmony Gold dub of the original Dragon Ball, where she played Bulma.
Oh yeah, I've seen clips of it. I've never actually.
You're like most of what exists is just clips because it was so short-lived and only aired in specific areas of California for a short time that most of it's lost.
Stop!
What has been found is both of the movies that they did, which were better preserved because they aired on like cable networks as opposed to local TV stations.
I see.
They're like re-edits of the first couple Dragon Ball movies edited together into like 1 or 2 films.
Owen Feldman on the sands going ape. Should I? I love I love Kaiser Neko's Oolong.
You got it!
Kaiser Neko,
Perfect.
speaking of the Harmony Gold dub, Kaiser Neko has said and provide clips showing that his Oolong is based on the Harmony Gold dub Oolong.
I think I remember him saying something about that in the creator commentary, actually.
Yeah,
But
and
I
except
love they reference the Harmony Gold dub of like why that one scene where where Krillin is like
I forgot his name, so I kept on calling him Whiskers the Wonder Cat.
Wonder Cat the whole time. It's really awkward.
Yeah.
I love that they made that little reference. It was so funny.
Yeah, leave it to Kaiser to make a reference for something only he would get out of the whole team. And like he's been upfront about the fact that a lot of the like references to really obscure Dragon Ball stuff are just for himself.
And that's totally fine. I totally get that.
I get that too.
There's a lot of references that are coming up in Earthfall that are only things that I will get. Like some of the writing things that I've been doing like are things that only I will get, or a fan that knows a lot about Transformers will know. So
yeah, we're trying to do a similar thing with Transformers Armada Bridged with throwing in like the occasional nod to like really obscure Transformers lore, like down to I think I've explained this on stream before, and I can't remember what exactly I named it off the top of my head, but I gave the Armada Bridge universe its own like universal cluster name, following the naming scheme of how Transformers multiverses are named.
Like what?
Yeah,
like
apparently there was like
there's
Yeah,
like
go
an
ahead.
official naming scheme for how the different Transformers universes, in terms of like, this was established by the old Ask Vector Prime Q&A thing, where like different pieces of Transformers media as well as different incarnations of the show all had specific universe identities with like a name and then a number attached to it. And I followed that specific naming scheme to properly give the Transformers Armada Bridged universe a lore accurate name.
So what is it?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
I'm looking, like, I'm actually going back and trying to see where you might have posted that in the
This was years
Cassie
ago.
channel.
It wasn't
Yeah,
it wasn't in the Discord channel, I know that much. It was in
Oh.
like messages between me and you and messages between me and Cringivore.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So you would have to go
JKR.
back through years of messages to find that. But I'm pretty sure it's in the series Bible doc.
Yeah, probably.
JKR.
Yes.
You've seen the new episode of Earthfall, right?
I did. Yes.
Did you hear anything that was like really obscure in that episode that Wheeljack said?
You know, I probably did, but it didn't catch my attention because, you know, I was like doing a lot of things at once while watching it, so I didn't have a chance to really pick up on anything.
Okay, fair enough. But a little bit of a spoiler for those of you that haven't watched it. I mentioned transtectors in it.
Oh, that I heard. Yeah, that I remember. That was a nice touch.
Yeah. And for those of you that don't know about transtectors in the Transformers lore, they are the bodies of the headmasters, which are Cybertronian beings from a different planet called Planet Master in
And the headmaster cartoon, yeah.
Transformers the Headmasters. And they evolved on their planet to basically survive harsh climates by shrinking themselves down to only the size of a Cybertronian head. So they had to build bigger bodies for them to inhabit, which kind of defeats the point if you really think about it. But They call them in the Japanese continuity, the body that turns into the car, a transtector.
Yeah, that's a thing that like a lot of people that are newbies to Transformers or just grew up with like either the American cartoons or the Michael Bay movies can't quite grasp how vast Transformers lore, deep lore is, and the fact that there's different conflicting lore depending on whether you're looking at the Western continuity or the Japanese continuity.
Yeah, because the Japanese continuity basically dropped season 4 of the American cartoon and did their own thing, and that was Transformers the Headmasters in Japan.
Yep.
It was the first Japanese exclusive Transformers P1 series. And
then that got its own 2 follow-up series.
Yes, it was
Super God Master Force and Victory.
And then Victory had
It had an OVA follow-up called Zone.
Yeah, which only had 1 episode because it did so poorly on the network, so they canceled it after the first episode. And it was continued through manga, actually.
Yeah.
What a pretty
Continued through manga and like issues of a specific TV magazine.
Yeah.
Where they would do like
yeah.
I mean, knowing Japanese, knowing how Japanese media companies title stuff, it's probably called something like TV magazine.
I actually think that's what it was. I follow a guy called Proto Man on a channel called Transformers Slag Podcast, and he's very deep into the Japanese lore, more than even I am, and so he knows like all these companies that made all these comics and things like that. He like constantly posts. He has like on his Discord channel that's exclusive to his Patreon. He's got this thing called the Lore Channel, and it's like where he posts all of the current Transformers comics. He updates it every time a new issue comes out.
But like if you go on the TF Wiki and look up like I think it's called like Universal Cluster might be the search term for it on the wiki.
Yeah.
But you can find like the name scheme for how Ask Vector Prime determined the names of different Transformers universes.
Like specifically the trans tech Cybertronians are the ones who study this kind of shit too. So it's like it's their naming scheme. Vector Prime just regurgitates it from them.
Like I can't remember exactly how the naming scheme works, but like a general summary of it is like the first part of it refers to which continuity it's a part of, like whether it's Unicron trilogy, whether it's G1, whether it's Japanese continuity, that kind of stuff. Then the numbered part refers to its air date.
I actually won.
For like when its first installment was made.
Yeah.
Yeah. Transtech, the show that almost...
I think I can handle this.
The show that almost was, but then they didn't because lots of reasons.
Being developed. Yeah. Well, they developed Armada because they didn't want to continue the Beast Machines universe.
Which is fair.
So, which is
also looking at
if you really think about it.
Yeah, and looking at the concept design, what concept designs we have for like what the characters will have looked like, those will have made for some really probably like toys that would have had to have been scaled down significantly in terms of everything for in order to make it to store shelves with their at the time current design philosophy of like incorporating gimmicks into each figure.
Yeah, if you look at that prototype Cheetor, that thing is like what a masterpiece of like 2015 would have been.
Yes.
Like the articulate, like the engineering on that thing was like miles ahead of whatever you saw on store shelves in that time.
Yeah, and it likely would have been way too expensive to produce reliably at that kind of level.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Like, you know what I would love is if, like, the Primes toy line that's coming out next year, I hope that eventually they do like some kind of homage to Trans Tech, like make some, like at least do like a concept series, kind of like what they're doing with Studio Series.
Yeah, what they're doing with what they started with the Studio Series Bumblebee Megatron.
Yeah, that would be really cool if they would do something like that, but they would have. I highly doubt that something like that will happen. But you know what? Stranger things have happened. Like really obscure characters have been coming out for the last couple of years, and they've been very successful.
Who would have figured that, like, even in the kind of G1 circle jerk that was the War for Cybertron trilogy, who would have thought we would have gotten a new Flywheels out of that?
Yeah, right.
Flywheels?
They renamed him to Skytread.
He's a Duocon.
Like, the original G1 figure was called Flywheels, but the War for Cybertron version is called Skytread, due to not being able to get the trademark on Flywheels.
You're talking about the guy that turns into a tank and a jet, right?
A tank and a jet that combined together to form the robot mode.
Yeah. I remember that thing. That thing is like really cool, but very like, yeah, I had no idea that it was like I had no idea who he was, and it makes sense that he's like
he was a late G1 character from a subline called the Duocons, where their whole gimmick was that they were two vehicles that combined together into a robot mode, but due to how it worked was like there was no real transformation steps involved. It was like all spring loaded when they combined together.
Yeah.
And as a result, they also had no articulation.
Like kind of like what's their names? Runabout and Runamuck, the pullback.
The Battle Chargers.
The Battle Charger. Similar to that, where they sacrificed articulation and transformation for like a neat the first time you see it gimmick.
Yeah. Like the spiritual successors to those were those Transformers animated ones. Do you remember those?
Oh yeah, I can't remember what the Activators. That's what they were called.
No, Activators.
No, I'm thinking of the ones that like transformed in one step.
Yeah, those were spring loaded too, but they actually had movement.
I did not. I was not really paying attention to Transformers outside of like the movies at the time animated was on TV, so I missed out on a lot of what was going on in animated.
I actually didn't like the show until like 3 years after it ended.
Like the only animated figure I have is animated Soundwave.
I mean, that thing was badass. So
yeah,
I understand.
It's a nice chunky figure with a really good. It makes really good use of its mass.
Yeah, I actually had the Jazz when that figure came out. That was a really good figure too. Like, I actually bought another one years later because I broke my original one.
But like if you want an idea of like what a spiritual successor to the Duocons would be, and this was just like a few years later, Overlord shares the same concept of robot mode formed from two separate vehicles, except this time there's an actual transformation involved.
Oh, and Sky Shadow too.
Yeah, and Sky Shadow too.
Yeah, they were. Wasn't Sky Shadow like a slightly different version of Overlord?
In Titan's Return, they shared the same mold. They shared the same mold, but in the original toy line, there were two separate figures.
Yeah, and back in the day, it was known as Black Shadow. And Black Shadow
that's right.
Yeah, he was retooled from Thunderwing.
That's right. It was Thunderwing.
Honestly,
those are two figures that need an update. Thunderwing.
Yeah, they really do. I've seen people say like, oh, Overlord should totally be the next HasLab. I'm like, please don't make Overlord a HasLab. Just make him a commander class.
Yeah, no.
Honestly, that would be a perfect choice. Would be a commander class.
Yeah.
But, you know, the Titan's Return figure, like looking at it, it's not that bad.
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's just due for an update.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like by today's standards, it's pretty small.
Like it was even pretty small for an Overlord figure back then, because Overlord's supposed to be massive.
Yeah, he's supposed to be huge.
Yeah.
He was the big bad of Super God Master Force.
Yeah, we did.
He had to be big.
Yeah, we didn't have commander class back then, so leader class was about as large as you could get without just making him a Titan, in which case he would be too big.
Yeah.
Also, have a good night, Shadow Dragon. Sorry if I missed you. I've been you can tell I'm like sidetracked today.
Many died that day.
But like Overlord could do with an update, and he would work perfectly for a commander class figure.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah. No doubt about it. And so would Black Shadow. I think the Black Shadow and Thunderwing.
I personally think that they're fine as like Voyager classes for Thunderwing and Black Shadow. Like either Deluxe or Voyager for those two.
You're right.
Yeah, but I will say, if anything, I want to see a new, a brand new updated version of Blue Bacchus, because we've never had a Blue Bacchus in the States, and they've never come up with an updated figure in Japan either since Generation 1.
I mean, while we're at it, why not do like if they really are going to be revisiting combiners again with better like design tech behind it, why not do a new Lio Kaiser?
That'd be nice too, yeah.
Dude, they should do a new Lio Kaiser. It would be perfect.
Because the closest thing we got to a new Lio Kaiser was mediocre at best.
Yeah. Dude, what? Like I would the
Combiner Wars. I will die on this hill. The Prime Wars trilogy is a bunch of shit that should have never happened. I hate that they basically turned everyone into a deluxe figure and gave them shitty articulation and really bad plastic quality. That's literally what happened to that entire trilogy. And people, like, sure, there were a few figures that were okay.
Yeah,
like, I'll give you that Combiner Wars Magnus is still on my list. It's one of my grails. I still want to get that, but there's not much else from the Combiner Wars era that I would even like. I wanted to get that Ricochet because like I thought he looked cool, but then I got him in hand. Like I did not buy a single Combiner Wars figure, Titan's Return, or Power of the Primes figure. I stayed away from Transformers for those 4 years that was out. I stayed away from it.
Like, if there's anything I have to give Combiner Wars in particular credit for, it's that was the era that got me back into collecting Transformers after being out of it for, like, a long time. And even then, I didn't collect much from the main line. I just went all in on Devastator.
That was okay. That I will admit that's the only one that looked semi-decent. That was the only combiner that actually looked decent.
It looks decent as a combined. It works great as like the combined mode. As individual figures, they're really lacking.
Oh yeah, they look terrible.
But you're not buying the Constructicons to display them as the Constructicons.
No.
Yeah, and unfortunately, they were thinking too much about Devastator instead of the bots that made him up. And like, you need to put more thought into it than just one mode.
No.
Yeah, like I went in on like I remember I was at BotCon when Devastator was first unveiled. Actually, no, I take that back. Not when Devastator was first unveiled, but when the Combaticons were first unveiled.
Understood.
And I remember like saying how it's like I've got the TFC toys Hercules, so I don't really need Combiner Wars Devastator. But then over time, I was like, I kind of balked. I went back on my word, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get Combiner Wars Devastator because I had Power of the Primes Predaking, and I was like, I wanted to make sure my display looked symmetrical as possible. So I dipped
Can I just say that Predaking? Can I just say that Predaking was a weird choice to make a Titan?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Predaking was a weird choice to make the Titan class figure for Power of the Primes.
Yeah.
But he was a Titan?
Yeah, he's a Titan.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, he was that line's Titan. And if anything, they should have done what they did with
Titan.
He's a combiner. He's a combiner, but he's Titan sized.
Same as Devastator. So yeah.
They should have done what they did with Titan's Return and have 2 Titans that year. And it should have been Volcanicus and Predaking. So you don't have 2 rival combiner teams where one is way smaller than the other.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And also that would have given us a good Dinobot combiner instead of Volcanicus.
Right. Like honestly,
yep. I don't think that the Dinobots should ever.
I don't think they should be a combiner team. I think that's a stupid idea. But if they were gonna do it, they shouldn't have half-assed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like my personal opinion is the toy version of Volcanicus gave me the Beast vibes.
The one that they put out recently in Legacy isn't that bad, but it's still not good.
It's not good partly because it's a core class combiner, and no one wants that.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, I appreciate that they went through all that trouble, but it looks pretty semi-decent. Like,
it looks decent in combined mode, but the individual figures really suffer for it.
Oh yeah. The only one that came out on top was Swoop. Like, he has the most articulation out of all of them.
And even then, if you think about it, it certainly seems like the core class Dinobots were actually meant to be the Dino Force.
Yeah, which they are going to be recolored into for the San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh,
That's what Pinky Prime says, at least.
yeah.
You want to know what they really missed out on for a potential brand crossover? Which doesn't surprise me that they missed out on it, given that it's Hasbro.
What?
Recoloring them into the Dino Megazord.
Yeah.
Like, Hasbro not knowing how to do brand synergy with Power Rangers? Perish the thought.
Honestly, that would make them a lot of money because they would have the Transformer fans that semi-like Power Rangers, and then they have the Power Rangers fans that semi-like Transformers. They could have like synergy between the two of them. It would definitely give them a little bit more money.
Yeah.
And I know that this would be a successful set because one of the most popular bootlegs of Volcanicus out there is Volcanicus recolored in Power Rangers colors.
I think I've seen that set, actually. It's like something that you can get from Sir Toys.
It's something that you can get on fucking Amazon, of all places.
Really? I
Yeah,
don't think I've seen it there.
I've seen it there. It's one of those things where it's one of those listings on Amazon where like you search Transformers and you go a couple pages down and you start getting stuff that refers to it not as a Transformer but as a transformation toy.
Or deformation space.
Deformation, yeah. That's another common one.
Yeah.
The best thing I've heard someone say to refer to like a Transformers knockoff that refers to it as a deformation was from one of my favorite all-time YouTubers, Ashens, when he was looking at a bunch of bootleg Transformers they got from his local Poundland, which is like the British equivalent to Dollar Tree.
Oh yeah.
And it was like the packaging said, yeah, because everything costs a pound.
I know, but still, like, oh boy. Sorry,
Hey, at least it's not as bad as the short-lived competitor that had Pound World. But like he was looking at one that referred to it as like a deformation warrior, and he's like, "Yep, it does look pretty bloody deformed."
Oh god. I'll be right back, guys. I've got to teach my Gyarados water gun, if you know what I mean.
Hey!
We're gonna be wrapping up soon anyway,
Now?
because I am still trying to get back on a regular sleep schedule.
Yeah. I've got an appointment in the morning too, so
I think oh shit. It's 11:15.
yep.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and save after all this garbledygook is over. I'm going to save so we can have a manual save past the Frieza saga, finally. So I don't have to fight Frieza again. And, let's see.
Frieza!
Please tell me my phone's still alive. Yes, it is. My backup phone, that is. I've got, like, 2 phones and an iPod as part of my setup.
Oh jeez.
Not iPod, iPad.
Yeah.
But, no raid tonight.
iPod touches today.
Who buys them? Oh, no, we are going to raid Kier because we don't often get to raid Kier.
No, we do not. I was going to suggest we raid Kier.
We're going to raid Kier, who's making music. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you to my 2 lovely co-hosts for joining me on such a short notice. I'll see you guys next time, and until then, unpleasant dreams.
Well, we're the boys of Chorus. We hope you like our show. We know you're rooting for us, but now we have to go.
Bye-bye!
Is the raid command gonna go through? Come on. Eh.
Do it now.
Hey, put the cookie down.